I am a playwright, and today I thought I would walk you through my process for writing a play. And to help me out, I want to invite a critic on stage. Okay, can we give her a big round of applause? Yes. So my critic is going to help provide some constructive feedback. Yeah. Okay, so some playwrights like to start with the title. I'm going to skip that for the moment. I'm going to start with an idea. Here's the idea. In 1997, a Hmong teen is on a mission to find a prom date. So we need a location. Think St. Paul, Minnesota, 1997. We need a setting. I think the living room would work.
Perfect.
We need characters. I think we should our heroine should be Miranda, a 17-year-old Hmong girl.
Miranda doesn't really sound like a Hmong name. Can we have a more Hmong-sounding name since this is a story about a Hmong girl? Yeah?
Okay, yeah, sure, we can do that.
Fantastic.
All right, how about Mai?
Oh, I like Mai.
Mai's a very Hmong-sounding name.
Great.
Okay.
M-A-I.
So Mai, 17-year-old Hmong girl. 2, her brother. Her mother. So Mai says her mother, I'm going to go to prom this year. And mother says, my Hmong girls don't go to prom.
Oh, okay, wait. Would a Hmong teen call her mother? That feels a little too formal to me. What would you call your mom?
Mother.
Okay. How would other people call their own moms?
Mom, mommy, mother.
Okay, well, how would you address your mother in Hmong?
Nia.
Okay, let's go with that. That sounds more authentic. Yeah?
Okay, all right, that's fine. Okay.
Great.
So Mai says, Nia, I'm going to go to prom this year. And Nia says, good Hmong girls don't go to...
How will non-Hmong people know that Nia means Hmong though? Mom though? Did you think about translating it?
You know, I could do that, yeah. I could do one translation to ground the audience. Okay, let's do that.
Great.
So Mai says, Nia, I'm going to go to prom this year. And Nia says, good Hmong girls don't go to prom. And Mai says, well, who says I was a good Hmong girl? And then, yes. And then Nia says, that's right, you're a lazy Hmong girl.
Excuse me. I read a lot about Asian cultures, and I hear that Asian women are very respectful. Doesn't your character seem a tad bit rude?
Well, to be perfectly honest, this was a very thinly veiled play about my own life. Okay? Yeah.
Even if it were true, though, May, aren't you worried you'll be perpetuating a stereotype that Hmong girls could be lazy?
All right, so Mai gets angry. So she decides to play video games as a form of self-care.
Excuse me. But I thought Hmong people were too poor to own video games. Also, girls don't play video games.
You know what? I played video games in 1997, okay?
Okay, well, you're the exception to the rule. Oh, what's the title to your play again?
Oh, I was thinking about The Hmong Girl's Guide to Hooking Up. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, well, won't the racy title offend the elders in your community?
To be perfectly honest, I don't think elders are going to come see the play.
Okay. Well,
they are not my target audience for this play.
Why are you writing a play about prom then? The Hmong people have such an important story to tell about how they fled a war-torn country. You should honor your heritage by writing about that.
Fine,
yeah?
I will have Mom, Nia, say something about being a refugee if that makes you feel better.
Okay. Well, if we produce this play, we need you to do outreach to your community because our mission is to be inclusive. So, how can we reach your community?
Okay, if you want to reach Hmong elders who probably don't speak a lot of English, you'll have to do the play in Hmong.
Okay, so that means that we would have to do the performance in Hmong. You can translate for them, right?
You'd have to hire actors who are bilingual.
Okay, but if we did this play in Hmong, how will non-Hmong people understand it?
Super titles, like in the opera?
Okay, well, let's get to the heart of the matter. How will you make this more accessible to our white audience? Who are the Hmong? Why is prom an important part of their social life? Oh, I like that. Can you translate what you just said?
I would love to translate what I just said. I just called you Jinzu, which literally means a tiger bite who is worthy of being hated. Yeah, also known as a jerk. Get off my stage. Jeez, I will not be oppressed today.
Very well. My work here is done. Okay.
All right, let's start this again. Okay, if this felt like it was really exaggerated, let me tell you, every single line you heard from my critic is actually something I've heard in real life throughout the course of my career as an artist. And I'm willing to bet that other writers, performance artists, creatives, and even non-creatives can empathize with this. When you come from a community that hasn't had a lot of platforms to speak, whether that be in TV, movies, books, music, or just life, you don't have the luxury of just being an artist. You also have the burden of creating your work while being policed by organizations, funders, audience members, even people from within your own community. Often, this results in work that is compromised or work that never gets created. So what can we do to change this? We need to start normalizing the stories and lives of people who come from underrepresented communities. And not only that, we as consumers or as just even regular people need to listen to these stories on their own terms. We need to realize we are not the center of the universe and be okay with that. I have spent the majority of my life not being the center of any universe. Come on, I'm a Hmong American who lives in Minnesota. Right? People think we only, have Norwegians here. I am the daughter of a shamanist, and I did a 2-year stint at a Catholic junior high school where I had to go to church twice a week and, religion class like every day. When I started teaching sexual health education specifically for the Hmong community, people said to me, May, Hmong people don't talk about sex. Good luck. And even when I go to national convenings with other Asian Americans, guess what? I'm the exotic Asian. It's true. A lot of them have usually never heard of Hmong people before, or their reference point is the movie Gran Torino. Yes. Or maybe they read the book The Spirit Catches You When You Fall Down. But even at home, I was considered a weirdo. No, this is for real. When I was 12 years old, my mom yelled at me. I had bad eyes. I had to get glasses. And my mom said to me, Hmong people do not wear glasses. What is wrong with you? I'm this old and my vision is still perfect. Guess what? She also did not have access to 5 hours of television per day, okay? And you know what? Years later, when other people in my family had to wear glasses, guess what? Did they get yelled at? No, because I had normalized the wearing of glasses. So in some ways, you could say that, I was a pioneer. Yes. When I was 12 years old, I also realized I wanted to be a writer, but I didn't know any Hmong people who were writers. Was my worldview really small? Yes, definitely. But what I did not realize until much later was that because Hmong people are an oral culture, we didn't have a writing system until the 1950s. As a result, most of the people of my parents' generation and beyond did not have access to education and did not grow up being literate in Hmong or in English. This was exactly the reason why when I was 12 years old and reading books, people thought I was a weirdo. This was why when I was looking for role models who were writers or actors, I couldn't find any because they didn't exist yet. When I was 18, I finally found a community of Hmong writers, and what I learned would change the trajectory of my work as an artist. My name Moa, who has been hailed as the midwife of the Hmong literary arts movement, said, if we don't tell our stories, other people will do it for us. And this was completely true, because back in the day, the 90s, yes, the majority of writing about Hmong people were not written by Hmong people. They were usually stuff that, usually we had anthropologists and other folks who came and studied us or collected our stories. This is why I never take it for granted that I make a living practicing art forms my parents' generation never had access to. This is also why I never take it for granted that I have the capacity to tell my own stories in my own words. For me, being a writer being an artist is a bit of a double-edged sword. It's a great way for me to express myself creatively, but I'm always juggling responsibilities and wondering how much to say. Like even right now, I'm wondering how many of you are gonna leave this talk and think, oh my gosh, she is a semi-angry POC, which stands for person of color, by the way. And I'm wondering how many of you are going to look down on my parents for not having access to education? How many of you are going to look at Hmong girls and think, oh, Hmong girls who read books and think they are weirdos because of a story I relayed about my own life that, happened 15, 20 years ago? But still I create, and still other artists from other underrepresented communities create. And sometimes when I create, I will say that my target audience is Hmong Americans who are bilingual. This does not mean other people are not invited to the table, but rather I would like you to imagine it this way. If you ask me to be on my best behavior, meaning my fake behavior, yeah, the kind of stories you are going to get from me are going to be the filter ones, full of surface details and maybe even stereotypes. If you give me the space to create on my own terms, the kind of work you're going to get is going to be much more authentic, nuanced, and complex. And isn't that what we want from art and in life? Yeah. You can clap. And sometimes the stories you hear are gonna, be uncomfortable. Sometimes you're not gonna get the joke. Sometimes the stories you hear are going to challenge what you previously thought you knew about this community. And sometimes you are not going to be able to empathize with any of the characters, but so what? I go to see plays about old dead white people all the time, okay? Yeah. Yes. Obviously, I'm not old, dead, or white, but do I care? Remember, you don't need to be the center of the universe all the time. It's okay. Rather than being an interloper who sort of just peeks through the windows and eavesdrops on conversations, why not be an actual guest, a proper guest who comes inside, takes off their shoes, because let's be real, even though I am Minnesotan, I'm also super Asian, okay? Why not come inside, have a seat at my table, listen to stories, eat my food as it is, not as you would like it? Here's the thing. I spent the first half of my life being ashamed of who I was, where I came from, and trying to hide my authentic self. Then I spent the second part of my life trying to create a world in which people like me exist. Moving forward, I hope that you will also be a part of that movement. Thank you.